Hey folks, Mark here with the Lighthouse Law Club again. Let's talk for a minute about debt. Let me make a broad statement right off the bat. You know, we're all slaves because our lives revolve around debt. You know that. You know, it's an old truism that the lender is always the master over the borrower. People, yourself, your neighbors, most people that we know, we're all slaves to debt. Nations have become slaves to debt. The whole world has become a slave to debt and the debt-based monetary system. It's an epidemic. You probably are very well aware of the pending crisis that looms ahead of us because of this unmanageable debt load. It just simply cannot be sustained. The amounts that are owed simply cannot be paid back. It's just impossible, mathematically impossible. Okay, so personally, I have no debt. I have no mortgage, no auto payments. Whatever credit cards I use, I pay them off within 30 days. I have no debt payments. I've learned how to live without credit. And that's no small task, but it can be done. And I live pretty good, mind you, okay? So, yet at the same time, I'm still forced to use the currency, debt notes, based on credit and debt, you know, whenever I engage in commerce. So, there are alternatives, though. All right, now, I'll talk more about the debt-based monetary system in another video. So I want to keep this as short as possible. It goes without saying that our lives would be amazingly less stressful if we didn't have to deal with debt payments. We know that to be a fact. Okay? So let's understand a little bit about good and bad debt. All right? Good debt is credit you can get when you put it to productive use, where you can make more than the interest that you're paying on it, when you can invest it productively, when you can put it into your business. That's good debt. Bad debt is credit that you use and you spend. You spend it on paying bills, you spend it on daily necessities, you spend it on vacations or entertainment or frivolous things that are not garnering you a return. That's bad debt. Now we talk an awful lot about these subjects: good debt, bad debt, fraudulent debt. Most of the credit that you and I and others have had in our lives is basically fraudulent. And I'll explain that in detail in some of the videos that I'll be recommending to you here in just a minute. If you don't already understand that, you need to study this issue. Now, there are things that can be done about eliminating the bad, fraudulent debt. And much, if not most of it, is fraudulent. We are finding now that in almost every mortgage case, there is outright forgery. Your signature has been forged in the mortgage documents in order to get it securitized, get it sold on the market, get you to agree to things you've never agreed to, at least on paper, so it shows. So there's an awful lot going on within the banking industry, all right? There's things we can do. And my objective with this video as an introduction to these concepts is such that you will study it further, you will understand the fraud, you will understand what can be done about it, and then, guess what? You'll be able to do something about it and live, not as a slave, but as master of your own destiny without debt. Let me explain a couple of these videos I want you to look at right now, okay? Okay, so let's go take a look at what we have in the YouTube channel. I'm going to point you to some of the key videos on the debt issue, which are critical to your overall understanding, okay? So here we are. We're going to scroll down and we're going to look for the playlist Popular Uploads. Okay, here we have it. And the first one you want to take a look at is Beat the Bankers, Eliminate Debt. It's a reenactment of an actual court transcript that went on several years ago as the lawyer for his client was trying to show on the court record through a series of clever questions being posed to the banker how the mortgage in question was actually fraudulent. All right, and if you follow this track of questioning, it's going to show you very clearly, the light bulb's going to go on in your mind, where you can see how each and every mortgage done by the banks, the mortgage companies that are actually created from credit out of thin air, are fraudulent because they didn't lend you anything. They didn't lend you their own money. You created your own money by signing the note. And this video will go into that, and it will explain it in detail. I won't do it here. So be sure, if you don't know how loans and mortgages are fraudulent, Beat the Bankers is the first one you need to see. All right, then we're going to go down here to the playlist Run Bankers Run. All right, and I would encourage you to start here with the first video. That's going to set the stage. And let me just give you some of the key ones. You'll rack up some time going through all of these. So let me just point a couple out that I think should be high on your priority list. All right, video number 1, Run Bankers Run, the battle cry. All right, then I would jump over to Checkmate. This is an interview with our mortgage specialist, Jimmy. And this will really open your eyes as to what he is doing to help people eliminate, just destroy, vaporize their current mortgages based on fraud. Okay? That means no more mortgage payments for you. Your home is free and clear. And quite possibly there could be some serious damages awarded for defrauding you all of these years. Okay? So Checkmate, that's number 2. All right? And then if you're interested in learning about unsecured debt, credit cards primarily, we could include student loans into that category, then this webinar, Kill the Debt, is one you definitely want to look at. Okay? This Kill the Debt is a webinar that was done with Tonson of Brilliance in Commerce, and this will really open your eyes as it relates to unsecured debt. Okay, so those are 3 that you must see, and that will really start to impress upon you the state of fraud that we're all living under, how it's destroying lives, killing your future, eliminating any inheritance you could possibly accumulate for your children, and just really turning the entire society upside down. The first part of solving any problem is to recognize what that problem is, all right? And then you can make a plan to overcome that problem, and that's exactly what we're doing in these videos, okay? So that's for anybody. Anybody can view those. They're free on YouTube. All right, now let's take a look at what our members have access to. All right, when we log in to the members area, one of the sections that we have is the advanced training libraries. Okay, right here on the menu. And when you get to advanced training libraries, I'm speaking mainly to our existing members and or those who are considering becoming a member. Each one of these links is a completely separate library unto itself. It's a collection of documents primarily. There are some audio files in here. But each one of these is its own library, and I'll give you a little flavor for that. So for our members, we'll probably want to go down here to the C package series. And each one of these items is you can currently find, if you're not a member, get access to these on our packages page, which you find over here under membership. You see packages here. All right. So these are the packages that you can get separately, but our members have access to all of these, all right, without having to buy the individual packages. All right, so let's start off with C102, Beat the Bankers. If we go to Beat the Bankers, we can just take a quick look as to what's in here. We've got a complete review of what's in the package, an overview. All right, so that's where we start. This document is fantastic. It's titled The Top Secret Banker's Manual. All right, a good part of this was written by the CPA Tom Schaff, who I had learned much about the bank fraud from. He was, I believe, originally from Chicago, an auditor and a CPA. A very interesting story. But this Top Secret Banker's Manual goes into some fantastic information and also includes a number of strategies, sample letters, sample documents, and quite a bit of how-to. Then we have How to Beat the Debt Collectors Manual. All right, you've got debt collectors hounding you. This will give you the law, the approaches, the sample letters to get them to get off of your case. And beyond that, it will show you how to sue debt collectors for violations of the law, violations of your rights, and actually making quite a bit of money in damages if you want to take it that far. All right? So this will really arm you to the teeth in dealing with collectors. Okay? Now, if anyone's trying to collect payment from you, one of the most gracious and legally effective methods to do that is to make a conditional offer to pay in full. And that's real simple. That's basically a letter saying, oh, you say that I owe some astounding, ridiculous, exaggerated amount of money? Okay, fine, I'll pay it, don't worry. Just show me, and then you make a list of requirements that the law provides for. Show me where you have legal standing to make that claim. Show me the chain of title, how you have obtained title over this document, this security, this property. Show me the signatures where you actually have clean title to that to be able to claim it. Show me in your accounting records the actual money that came out of your account that you called the loan. Show me where you have good standing with the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, which itself has all kinds of requirements. Okay, so yeah, show me that you're in good legal standing to make this demand, and I'll be happy to pay this immediately. And you're thinking, well, why would I make that kind of a promise if I don't have the money to pay? You do have the money. What is money? The currency of the realm is credit. What is credit? It's a promise to pay. You could pay them with your promise, technically speaking. That's money, and they'd be hard-pressed to prove you didn't pay it, all right? We get into the Uniform Commercial Code, and there's just all kinds of little gems that you can pull out of the law when you start studying this stuff. It's absolutely fascinating. You know, to the average person on the street, they'd say, oh my God, how dry can you get? Looking at law on money, currency, debt collections, obligations, Uniform Commercial Code. Actually, you know, it's fascinating if you're curious and interested in finding solutions in the law. Okay? So then here we have top comments on the documents that we have here, an audio file. And here's an interesting little proof of the existence of the Treasury offset program. And that's quite interesting. What's the Treasury offset program? Basically, if a debt collector can't get it from you, they'll go get it from your account in the Treasury. And a lot of you already know about that. You've got an account in the Treasury. They're trading off of the bonds and securities created by the Stealthy Capitalist Trust. So that's the Beat the Bankers package, which some of our lucky members were able to get for free with their nominal order of other packages earlier in January. So that's that. So here's what we have in the Beat the Bankers package, okay, for our members. Let's look at C104, Stop Foreclosure. All right, so we start off with an overview here. And this gives us the lay of the land as it relates to what to expect in the overall package. All right. Again, we have the conditional offer to pay in full, top secret banker's manual, and in our foreclosure resources, we have actually two different providers that are represented by each of these packages. One is more economical, and one is much more extensive and more powerful, okay, depending on what you want to do. So in combination with the Beat the Bankers package and all the information that's there, that's just incredibly powerful in itself. This will lead you to specialists who can help guide you through the forensic audit procedure, provide paralegal help, and then suing the parties involved for creating the fraud in your documents. Okay? Our Kill the Debt program is basically a series of letters. It's a letter writing campaign, of course, just armed to the teeth with law, creditors in a very precarious position, and it's kind of a war that's going to be won through attrition. You know, it could take a number of letters and persistence and sticking to your guns and staying to your argument and holding their feet to the fire, and eventually they're going to realize that you're not going to get off of the law, and they're defeated, and that debt gets wiped out. Credit card debt, student loans, what have you. All right, now this is actually provided by Brilliance in Commerce. It's the same program. They do the program. It's their program. What makes ours just a little bit different, our price is just a little bit higher because we include bonus number 1, which is how to collect monetary awards for collector calls. That's a zip file in its own library. And then we also include how to beat the debt collector's manual, which is found in the Beat the Bankers package. Okay? And that's a very extensive manual, again, with legal references, sample letters, templates, strategies, legal research on how to beat debt collectors legally, lawfully, and correctly. Okay? So that's the difference in between Brilliance in Commerce and in our package. But the core of it is done by Brilliance in Commerce, so it's the same in that respect. We've got quite an assortment of resources, and I haven't even gotten into some of it, but I'm going to leave you with that. For our members, you got plenty to work on. If you're not yet a member, this gives you an idea what you have to look forward to when you become a member, and perhaps why you might give that some consideration. We go back to our advanced training libraries, and of course there's a lot of other major subject matter that's not related to debt. It's related to other genres of information and education, and this is just our advanced training libraries. Doesn't get into our books for download or specialized section in so many different areas. Okay? That should give you enough to chew on for a little while. If you're a member or not a member, it doesn't matter. You've got those videos to get you on track and give you some really good insights, clarity, focus, laser beam focus on the fraud, the forgery, the things that are going on to deprive you and your family of a happy and prosperous financial future. Okay? So with that, I will sign off for now. Look forward to being in touch with you in the near future so that you can get the yoke of debt slavery off of your neck. Take care and God bless.